Do you ever think, well, at least I'm walking, that should be enough to finally make me feel better, right? Here's the truth. Walking is amazing for stress, steps, sanity. But if you're over 40 and you're only walking, that might still be why your jeans don't fit and why fat loss honestly feels harder than it should. Because once we hit that magical midlife stage, women can lose up to 8% of our muscle every single decade. And if we're not lifting or doing some sort of resistance training, and when you lose muscle, your metabolism slows and your blood sugar gets more unpredictable. And that stubborn midsection that we all love to hate, it just hangs on tighter. So, how do I know this? I'm Nikki. I am a health and nutrition coach, and I help midlife moms get out of that feeling of just not loving their bodies. And honestly, I get it. During COVID, that magical period that we all love so much, walking was my lifeline. I would put my shoes by my door. I am going to get out and I'm going to tell myself, this counts. I am being healthy. And it felt so good to get outside. But a few months in, I went to go to Costco and get that big bag of dog food into the cart. And I used to do it all the time super effortlessly, and I had to stop because it just was heavier. And I was like, oh, well, guess I'm just getting older, right? But the truth was, I wasn't just tired, I was actually losing muscle. And with it, my energy and metabolism, and honestly, just a piece of myself. So, today I want to break down three of the biggest myths around walking and fat loss in your 40s and some simple shifts that will actually help you feel stronger and leaner and back in control. So, I want to start with the first one that I see all of the time. Myth number one is walking is the plan, right? Walking is wonderful. I do it every single day because it lowers stress and it helps you clear your head and it adds movement to your crazy days, especially if you're like me and you sit a lot and you're constantly on your computer, right? But here's the thing. Walking is like showing up on the first day of school with your new good, fun Trapper Keeper and those cool butterfly clips. You never really felt ready. You just had to go. Walking is the same. It gets you in motion, but it doesn't necessarily always build the muscle that your 40-something body desperately needs. And without strength work, you're trying to change your body on a shaky foundation, which is why everything feels harder than it should. And speaking of a little harder, I want to talk about what happens in our bodies in midlife. And so that myth number two is thinking that more cardio is the answer. Yeah, back in our 20s, we could run a few extra miles and that would undo a whole weekend of pizza and margaritas. But once we hit our 40s, our hormones start changing and they run the show. Our estrogen dips and our cortisol, which we need, it runs higher and it runs dysregulated. And one night of poor sleep can raise cortisol by a lot of. And that high cortisol or dysregulated cortisol will make you hungrier. It messes with your sleep and it tells your body to store more fat around your middle. So let's add the fact that your muscle is disappearing because you're really just focusing on walking. And no wonder fat loss feels like you're running up an uphill with a backpack full of bricks. It's not you failing, it's your body asking for a different approach. And so I want to talk a little bit about what's actually works when walking and cardio aren't cutting it anymore. And myth number three is that believing strength training means becoming a gym rat. Listen, I've been in so many different phases with gym. I would tell myself, I don't need to go to the gym. I'm not that kind of person. Then there's been other phases where I love the gym, but I'd spend all my time in the cardio machines and I dabble in the strength training. And then there's been other phases where I focused fully on strength training, right? So there have been many, many seasons in my life where I have been all over the place. But a lot of women and a lot of moms that I talk to are like, I don't have time for hours in the gym. And we don't, right? But strength training in midlife looks totally different because you're not sitting in the gym for 2 hours, deadlifting hundreds of pounds and downing protein shakes. You can do 3 short workouts a week, 20 to 30 minutes, and you want to focus on your upper body, your whole body, your legs, right? Even body weights in your body weight moves, like squats in your living room while you ask your kids how their day was, counts. I actually set a timer for every 45 minutes to an hour, and I get up and I move my body and I do some squats, or I'll take a lap around my house, or I'll do some push-ups. Or, there's all sorts of different things that you can do to make those exercise snacks and really still build that strength. The thing is that strength training isn't just about turning into somebody you're not. You are already strong. You carry more mental things than you know what to do with. Okay, you juggle everyone's schedule, but lifting is a tool that's going to help keep that strength so your metabolism stays fired up and your body starts to change. So here's what I want you to do this week. I want you to pick just one strength move, okay? Maybe it's squats, right? Squats, fit 10 squats every hour. Maybe it's countertop push-ups, or maybe you do body weight rows or rows with cans of beans, okay? Just do one thing. I want you to do 2 sets and you're done in like 5 minutes. No joke. Okay. Then add your walk after dinner. Okay. It's not just about being active, but it's about building this plan that's going to work with you in your life. Because I'm not here to try and tell you that you have to do all of these things, right? You need to find the way that's going to work for you in your life. And look, I don't want you to hear me say that walking is bad. Walking is great. I don't want you to stop walking. And in fact, I've got a whole video about, actually 2 videos about why walking is so good, right? One is about resistance, like my weighted vest and what happened when I started wearing my weighted vest. And another one is about a 10-minute walk after dinner. So definitely check those out. But if you're relying on it as your only strategy, you're going to keep spinning your wheels. And strength training isn't about perfection. Look, I am not perfect at all. But it is about showing up for 20 to 25 minutes, 30 minutes, so that you're building muscle and you're reminding yourself that you're still strong, still capable, and that your body can still respond, even in these fun perimenopausal years. So if you want a mom-friendly strength template that is going to make things doable, I want you to grab my Core 3 Hormone Reset Guide. I'm going to drop it in the link below. And once you've got your walk style in, I want you to take the next step. And I want you to go ahead and watch 5 morning habits that will burn belly fat after 40, because it's going to give you the next layer to stack on your strength.